We have the Vice Chancellor's procession in the auditorium, and the procession is led by the Deputy Registrar, Academic Support Services, and the Registrar Designate of this university, Mr. E.D. Obafemi. Following closely is the Director of Academic Planning, and next to him is the Dean of Agric. Following the Dean of Agric is the Dean of Arts. He's followed by the Dean Basic Medical Science. He's followed by the Dean Faculty of Business and Social Sciences. He's immediately followed by the Dean Clinical Sciences, the Dean Communication and Information Science, the Dean of Education, the Dean of Engineering, the Dean of Science, Acting Dean of Veterinary Medicine, the Dean Postgraduate School, the Dean of Student Affairs, the Provost College of Health Sciences, the University Librarian, the Registrar of this great university, and of course the inaugural lecturer, and followed closely by the Vice Chancellor, who is ably represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research, Technology, and Innovation, Professor Oladele. As we remain standing, we'll have the University of Ilorin anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, you are invited for your opening remarks.
The Deputy Vice Chancellor, Eminent Services, the Registrar, the University Librarian, Provost, College of Health Sciences, Chief Medical Director, University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital, Deans, especially Dean, Faculty of Clinical Sciences, Heads of Departments, Directors, Emeritus Professor of Cardiology, University of Glasgow, UK, Professor Emeritus Peter Mafaleni, professors present here, great students of University of Ilorin, especially the university scholars who are seated out there. Gentlemen and ladies of the press, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, Professor Ibraheem, I wish to welcome all of you to the 126th inaugural lecture of University of Ilorin. The lecture is entitled, "The Choice is Yours, but the burden is ours." It is to be delivered by Professor Ibraheem, Adeola, Katibi. Professor Ibraheem Adeola Katibi, MBBS Zaria, MBA Ilorin, MD Glasgow, SAT Harvard, FWACP, FACC, was born in Ilorin on the 3rd of February 1968 to the famous Imam Katibi family. He graduated from Adeola University Medical School with Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery degree in 1991. He was also awarded the degree of Masters in Business Administration, MBA, of the University of Ilorin in 1998. He subsequently obtained a doctorate degree from the University of Glasgow in the United Kingdom, after which he attended Harvard University posting, United States of America, for further education in medical research and ethics. He underwent postgraduate residency training of both the national and West African postgraduate medical colleges at the University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital, UITH, and University College Hospital, Ibadan, leading to the conferment of the Fellowship Award of the West African College of Physicians in 1998. He is also a fellow of the American College of Cardiology. Professor Katibi was appointed Lecturer 1 in 1999 and has since risen through the ranks to become a Professor of Medicine in 2001. He is an honorary consultant physician, cardiologist to the University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital, where he was the immediate past chairman of the Research and Ethics Board. He was formerly a consultant cardiologist to the most acute Nigerian private tertiary cardiovascular center called Reddington Multi-Specialist Clinics, and is also a consultant cardiologist to the Executive Governor of Kwara State. He has also served as a member of many ministerial technical committees, particularly the National Health Insurance Scheme. He was appointed an honorary clinical research fellow by the University of Glasgow and Glasgow Royal Infirmary in UK in 2003. And he is also a fellow of the International Society for the Epidemiology and Prevention of Cardiovascular Diseases. Professor Katibi is a fellow of South African Research Ethics Training Institute, SARETI, at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, Pietermaritzburg, South Africa. He is also a fellow of ethical issues in global health and research at the Harvard University hosted in USA. Professor Katibi was formerly the National Treasurer of the Nigerian Medical Association in 2000 and was on the National Executive Council for well over a decade. He was also the Secretary of the National Committee of Medical Elders under the headship of Professor Emeritus Umaru Shehu. Professor Katibi has won several grants, awards, and fellowships with which he has pioneered the establishment of the first electronic database of normal electrocardiogram in any indigenous Black African population worldwide. Notable among these are the Commonwealth University Academic Staff Fellowship, World Heart Federation Fellowship, University of Ibraheem, and University of Glasgow research grants. He has published extensively in local and international peer-reviewed and reference journals. He was formerly on the editorial board of Nigerian Medical Journal and Nigerian Journal of Medicine, aside for being a peer reviewer himself to well over 10 local and international journals. He is the immediate past head, Department of Medicine, University of Ilorin, and University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital. He is happily married to Dr. Mrs. Sherifat Katibi, who is consultant pediatrician, hematologist, and the union is blessed with children. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I hereby present to you our inaugural lecture for today. He is Professor Ibraheem Adeola Katibi.
The Vice Chancellor of the University of Ilorin, Professor Abdul Yohambali, heavily represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research, Technology and Innovation, Professor Oladele, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Management Services, Professor Ibraheem Hakunle, Honorary Principal Officers of the University of Ilorin hereby seated, Vice Chancellor Al-Hikma University, Professor Abdul Karim, Provost College of Health Sciences, and my teacher, Professor Ayodele Omotosho. Deans and directors hereby present, particularly the Dean of Clinical Sciences, Professor Wahab Johnson. Professor Emeritus Adeola Adeniyi, former Vice Chancellor of the University of Ilorin, Professor Emeritus Peter McFarlane of the University of Glasgow, professors and other members of Senate of the University of Ilorin, Chief Medical Director of the University of Ilorin, heavily represented by the Director of Clinical Services, University of Ilorin, who is equally representing the Honorable Minister for Health here this afternoon, Dr. B.S. Alabi. Members of Kwara State Executive and Security Council, members of Kwara State Traditional Council hereby present, my lords, spiritual and temporal, all other invited eminent personalities, other members of the University of Ilorin community, members of the fourth realm of power, the press, distinguished fellow alumni of the University of Ilorin, ladies and gentlemen. Well begun is half done. This proverb is traceable to the famous Greek philosopher Aristotle, who lived between 384 and 322 before the birth of our Jesus Christ. Putting it in another way, the beginning is supposedly half the whole. In deviance to this age-long maxim, my journey in life is better captured by the saying, badly begun could translate to well done. Putting it so simply and differently, albeit with the same meaning, a happy ending doesn't always start with a good beginning. And where a man is coming from doesn't determine in whole where he's going to end up. I was born here in Ilorin into the ancient and respectable Katibi family about 45 years ago, a family renowned for Islamic/Arabic erudition and scholarship. Indeed, literally translated, Katibi means a writer or scholar, as if there is a deliberate effort to sustain the dream and passion of the forefathers, Today, there are at least 5 doctoral degree holders and several UFAs and Hafis, otherwise known as Quranic memorizers, amongst the descendants of the Katibi family. Mr. Chairman, sir, I grew up as a child not knowing my mother because she had succumbed to pregnancy and childbirth-related complications about 2 years after I was born. I could not recall knowing what she looked like or having any emotional attachments to her. But I take solace in the comments by acquaintances that our son could not have turned out otherwise because she was so nice, kind-hearted, and cheerful. With the permission of the chairman, may I crave your indulgence that we all recite jointly Surah Al-Ikhlas in our memory. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakun lahu kufuwan ahad. With a demise, I was passed from one auntie to another, and later my grandmother. Everybody's present is a product of his or her cumulative past. No wonder I grew up to become independent-minded very early in life, quality which earned me the respect and respectability of many friends, colleagues, and associates later in life. I've always wanted to be a doctor. Indeed, my nickname in the primary and secondary school was doctor. This desire arose from a personal experience in primary school while I was on hospital admission for a febrile illness. Every morning, my mother had the arrival of a particular individual to my hospital ward, usually immaculately dressed with a clean white overall and something hanging around his neck. The entry of a personality is usually heralded by a pin drop silence on the ward with the fierce and tough-looking nurses on their feet as the man approaches their table to say, "Good morning." "Good morning, doctor," is usually chorused as the answer. I was moved by this experience and I resolved to become a doctor. Today's inaugural lecture is deliberately titled, "The choice is yours, but the burden is hers." As individuals, we made and continue to make our choices, whether freely or imposed, as we shall come to see in the course of this lecture. The consequences of the choices constitute a collective burden on household, either as members of a closely linked and interrelated community, or as citizens of the same nation, or as citizens of the larger world, or as medical professionals with the unfortunate Herculean task of having to clear the mess. Mr. Chairman, sir, it is germane to define choice and burden at this juncture in order to guarantee that the pilot, cabin crew, and the passengers are all on board the flight just before the plane begins to taxi along the tarmac. According to Encounter dictionaries, choice is defined as the act of choosing or the decision to choose something or somebody or one thing or course of action in preference to others. Sometimes choice is also considered to be the power to choose. The selection process, the best or the most desirable of the options, and most importantly, the chosen alternative. On the other hand, burden is a difficult or worrying responsibility or duty or load. In my own contextualization, burden can be economic, social, political, moral, spiritual, physical, psychological, emotional, and even professional, as we doctors carry it, nurses, laboratory scientists, and so on. No wonder, therefore, that the choice is yours, but the burden is all ours. Over the past 1.5 decades or so, my research focus has been on the subject of hypertension, its investigations, treatment, and complications. Again, the choice is yours, but the burden is hers. I sleep hypertension, I dream hypertension, I wake up hypertension, I eat hypertension, I drink hypertension, I work hypertension 24/7, I live hypertension, but I pray not to die of hypertension as a result of the burden imposed on me by hypertension. Besides hypertension, I've also made modest scholastic contribution to the subject of diabetes mellitus during my brief stint as the consultant in charge of the diabetology clinic of the University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital. Katibi, 1999, 2003, 2003, 2004, 2006, 2006, and 2007. This modest contribution earned me the honorary membership of the American Diabetes Association by invitation in 2004. This apart, hypertension and diabetes mellitus are closely associated, such that 30 to 50% of diabetic patients are also hypertensive. Katibi et al., 2003. Indeed, diabetes mellitus has long been recognized as a very important risk factor for cardiovascular disease. Besides, coexistence of hypertension and diabetes mellitus predisposes the sufferer to increased risk of developing complications such as stroke and heart attack. I've also contributed a few tranches of publications on the subject of healthcare financing and national health insurance scheme. The latest being an invited review article published in the 2012 edition of the Savannah Journal of Medical Research and Practice, Katibi, 2003-2012. Hypertension, simply put, is abnormally high blood pressure. Technically, it can also be defined as that level of blood pressure where the benefit minus the risks and costs of action outweighs the risks and costs minus the benefit of inaction. Kaplan et al., 2001. In absolute terms, hypertension has been universally defined as systolic blood pressure 140 mm of mercury and above, and diastolic blood pressure 90 mm of mercury and above. More recent clinical trials have demonstrated incontrovertibly that there is a somewhat increased risk of developing undesirable complications of hypertension even at lower levels of blood pressure, particularly in the presence of other cardiovascular risk factors. No wonder, therefore, the coining of such terminologies as normal, high normal, and optimal blood pressure. Hypertension afflicts well over 1 billion people worldwide and is seen in all nations of the world. Lopez et al., 2006. 19.3 to 34.8% of Nigerians are reported to live with hypertension, translating to a total figure of about 40 million people. Hendricks et al., 2012, Hogarth et al., 2012. It is no respecter of race, gender, or age, as is illustrated in figure 1 on the screen above. My slide is clearer on the TV screen, not as clear on the central screen. But what this is showing is that the proportion of people that are living with hypertension in the various countries of the world, they vary. This is the one for Ghana. You can see the gray color represents the cities, while the other color represents the rural population. You can see up to 50% of Ghanaians are hypertensive. For Nigeria, the percentage is about 32%, and it's shown there. Similarly, some countries have even lower proportion of their population being hypertensive. So it varies from countries to countries, but no country is actually exempted. And if you live in the city like Abuja, Lagos, you probably stand the higher chance of being hypertensive than somebody who is residing in my village at Asa, local government area. The World Bank has already alerted that until and unless the war against non-communicable diseases, cardiovascular diseases inclusive, is elegantly fought and won, all attempts at improving the world poverty indices would remain a mirage because of the toll on overall productivity of nations. WHO 2002 Kim 2012. Economists have projected that the cost of not investing in cardiovascular disease prevention and treatment could amount to as much as $47 trillion worldwide in the next 25 years. Where do we get this money from? The choices were freely made by hypertensive patients, but the burden of the crippling effect on the economy and development is borne by households. The toll on the economy as a result of cardiovascular disease for the low and middle income countries is again illustrated in the next figure above. You can see what cardiovascular disease is contributing as a toll to the economy in middle and low income countries is about twice what cancer is contributing, and more than what cancer and respiratory disease combined are contributing. But yet we fear cancer more than we fear cardiovascular disease, all countries of the world. Again, almost half of the toll of the economy is contributed by cardiovascular disease. Aren't we underemphasizing the importance of cardiovascular disease in our policy formulation and intervention and measures? I think people in government need to address this and look again at this and the other priorities. Genesis of hypertension is sometimes traceable to the free choices we make during spouse selection, pregnancy, delivery, events in early childhood, and adult life. The choice is yours, but the burden is all ours. It has been reported that offspring who have both parents hypertensive have a 27.2% increased risk of becoming hypertensive than the general population. When only one of the parents is hypertensive, the risk is reduced to just 5.7%. Similarly, siblings and twins of hypertensive are also at increased risk of hypertension, Harriet before 2011. The import of this is that hypertension tends to run a familiar course, and perhaps the risk will be reduced through proper premarital counseling and choice of partner. Unfortunately, the choice of partner is individual, but the resulting burden of hypertension is for all of us. Have to unlock effects to be blind. Babies from mothers who consumed a lot of alcohol during pregnancy or who suffered intrauterine growth retardation or back asphyxia have increased propensity to develop hypertension in later life. These are all somewhat decisions of the mother or a function of quality of antenatal care or standard of delivery, which in turn depends on the decisions taken by the couple, either directly by themselves or on their behalf. Again, the choice is that of the couple for their offspring, while the burden in later life is ours as a whole. What about the place of badly treated skin infections in childhood resulting in inflammation of the glomerulus of the kidneys through cross-immune reaction, acute glomerulonephritis, or chronic drug ingestion in childhood, Adeola et al. 2005. Both these conditions affect the kidneys and could ultimately result to hypertension. Excessive salt consumption and obesity have been directly linked to the level of blood pressure. E. et al. 1999 and 2009. Unfortunately, the quantity of salt in our foods, or whether we had additional salt on the table to food already served, or our body weight, is largely our own decision. Globally, obesity is on the increase, and the prevalence has literally tripled over the past decade, with women and Americans maintaining the lead. Obesity is estimated to account for up to 2.8 million deaths annually. Some people specifically have questionable preference for food items having dangerously high salt content, such as bacon, baked beans, cracker biscuits, corned beef, bread, and so on. In an earlier work, we reported that only about half of hypertensive patients seen at the University of Ibadan Teaching Hospital were aware of the adverse effects of salt consumption on hypertension, and only a third of the patients had well-controlled blood pressure. Katibi et al. 2010. One of the reasons for inadequate blood pressure control is non-compliance with drug therapy, which we have observed to be as high as in 40% of our hypertensive patients. Katibi et al. 2004. Incidence of adverse effects from medications such as cough, as was reported in up to 20% of those on captopril and lisinopril in the lorry, could be a plausible reason for non-compliance. Katibi et al. 2005. the educated, the rich, the high and the mighty are also guilty of this. Bill Clinton, former President of the United States of America, said on Larry King Live on the phone from his hospital bed while awaiting coronary bypass surgery after suffering a heart attack, "I have also been treating the high cholesterol. And then I stopped the medicine because I got my cholesterol down low. And I had in the past a little blood pressure, which I treated and then I got it down. The resultant poorly controlled hypertension is therefore a burden on not just the individual, but the entire nation as a whole." In the United States of America alone, hypertension and cardiovascular diseases cost about $300 billion annually to treat. Roger et al., 2012. This is in excess of the total GDP for Nigeria. This cost is expected to triple in the next 15 years unless specific preventive measures are adopted. Assuming Nigerian population is about 40% of that of the United States of America, and all the cases of hypertension and hypertension-related diseases are to be adequately treated, it is estimated to cost about 20 trillion naira annually to effectively and qualitatively manage these cases. Where would Nigeria get this money from? Our only option is to adopt preventive measures. This is about 4 times the total annual budget for Nigeria for the year 2012. With our standard of treatment in Nigeria, it is estimated that about $500 billion naira will be required to treat cases of hypertension alone. This is far in excess of the total budget for health in 2012. With appropriate choices by individuals, the huge sum could be put into other productive uses such as power, education, and infrastructural development. Again, the choice is yours, while the burden is called hard as far as hypertension is concerned. Policy review needs to take place, and that's why the Honorable Minister for Health has been invited to this inaugural lecture. And I'm delighted it's able to be presented by somebody here. Investigations in hypertension. One of the most important investigations in patients with hypertension is electrocardiography. Others are serum urea, electrolytes, creatinine, lipid profile, fasting blood sugar, urinalysis, and echocardiogram. There could be additional investigations where secondary causes of hypertension are suspected. Electrocardiography is the most readily available and cheapest cardiovascular investigation worldwide. Hundreds of millions of ECG are reported to be recorded annually worldwide. In the course of my career, I've researched extensively into the ECG of Nigerian, British, and Chinese populations. Indeed, our publication in this regard is the only one of its kind worldwide comparing normal ECG databases in the 3 populations, that is Nigerian population, Chinese, and British population. Our publication is the only one worldwide. I've also published extensively on the effect of hypertension on the ECG of Nigerians, Katibi et al., 2003, and then 2005. Again, the choice is yours, but the burden to carry out the research is hard. It suffices to start you first with what our findings were with normal ECGs before discussing what abnormalities there could be on the ECG of hypertensive patients. Even though the first ECG was recorded in humans by Augustus Waller in 1887, the first report of normal ECG amongst Nigerians was only available in the year 1966, almost a century later. This was not until about half a decade after automated computer applications had been introduced into the analysis and interpretation of the ECG. Waller 1887 and Sarki et al. 1966. The first reported research on automated analysis of normal ECG in Nigerians did not come until the year 2010. And by the inaugural lecturer of today, in collaboration with Professor Emeritus Peter Makarin of the University of Glasgow, who is seated on the high table, looking different from others in the high table. Katibi 2010. The first ECG in humans as recorded by Augustus Waller and normal ECG nomenclature are shown on the screen above. This was the first ECG recorded in humans by Augustus Waller. You can see because of the primitive technology, then it's not as clear. These are the waveforms for the ECG, but it's not as clear as what we now have today. Next slide, please. And this is the representation of the various waveforms for a normal ECG. This is the P wave, that's the QRS complex, that's the T wave. Each of these waveforms denotes the activity or contraction of specific parts of the heart. So if you have anomalies relating to contractions or activities of a part of the heart, it will show by abnormal morphology of one of those waveforms. And this is what a normal ECG looks like when it is recorded. This is one cardiac cycle, it continues like that. So you see P wave, QRS complex, and that's the P wave. P wave, QRS complex, it continues like that. So this is what the normal looks like. When we see something different from this, then we know something is abnormal. And we can tell which part of the heart is performing abnormally on the basis of what we have seen. Unfortunately, Caucasian-derived computer programs have been blindly applied to the Negroes for the purpose of ECG interpretation, even though there are racial differences in ECG appearances. Katibi et al. 2010. ECGs were therefore recorded in 1,500 apparently healthy participants from Ilorin West, Ilorin East, Ilorin South, and outside local government areas of Kwara State at no cost to the participants. Ordinarily, this will have cost about 7.5 million naira using the unit price for a private hospital. This massive measurable benefit to the underserved population in Kwara State is probably what informed the later support received from Kwara State government, which shall be acknowledged in due course. Reading. Up to 12.5% of the normal population may show abnormal reading, ranging from occasional premature ventricular contractions to first or second degree heart block or even bone branch block. Heart rate. The normal heart rate in Nigerians is age and sex specific. Generally, it ranges between 52 and 105 beats per minute in males and 52 and 112 beats per minute in females. Normal Nigerians have higher heart rates than either the British or Chinese population, with the Chinese having the lowest, maybe because they are smallest in size. P wave, a broad biped P wave, is occasionally a normal variant. Similarly, notching of the P wave could be seen in up to 10% of apparently healthy Nigerians. The duration of the P wave in normal Nigerians could be up to 0.14 seconds, as against the traditional cutoff of 0.12 seconds. Using automated analysis, higher values than 0.12 seconds have also been described in other racial groups in Chinese and British populations. Key waves. Key waves are generally less common in the ECG of apparently normal Nigerians compared with the Caucasian counterparts. Key wave duration is generally longer in the Chinese population, while Nigerians manifest higher amplitudes compared with the British and Chinese. Key waves are most prevalent in the British population, maybe because they suffer more heart attack. Katibi et al. 2010. Heart and head waves. Heart and head wave amplitudes represent the fulcrum around which most of the ECG diagnostic criteria for ventricular hypertrophy or chamber enlargement revolves. Unfortunately, the upper cutoff for these amplitudes are mostly higher in Nigerians than in whites. This underscores the desirability of local adaptation of such criteria, such as the Around-Yates criteria for left ventricular hypertrophy around 1984. Indeed, heart wave amplitudes are age, gender, and lead specific, such that application of a single cutoff across the board for everybody could be misleading. Hence the wisdom in computer application for automated analysis. And this is why we need to adopt computer or automated analysis of the electrocardiogram, not only in Nigeria, but indeed in the entire West African sub-region, because there's no way you can commit all these cutoff points to rote memory. it is different for different age groups, for different ECG needs, for different sexes, for different races. They are just different. What we do now is we just take one thing for everybody, and then you apply it because you are doing manual interpretation. It does not work like that. QRS duration. Arabi has stated that there was no age, sex, or racial difference in the durations of ECG waves and intervals, including the QRS duration. A single range of normal QRS duration of 0.06 to 0.11 seconds was therefore reported for all Nigerians. However, using automated methods, we have reported significant age, gender, lead, and racial variations in the duration of the QRS complex, Katibi et al. 2010. This is similar to the observation among Nigerians by earlier reporters and that of McFarlane et al. And Chen et al. Among British and Chinese populations respectively. Racial difference in QRS duration is illustrated on the screen above. If you look at the screen above, the Caucasian population is represented by the blue color, while Nigeria is red color. You can see for all age groups, Nigerians consistently have lower duration of the QRS complex than the British population. So you cannot just take the ECG machine that is calibrated using British QRS duration and apply it directly to Nigerians. We must write our own diagnostic software using our own cutoff. And that is where we are going eventually. Inshallah. S3 segment. Peter McFarlane, Emeritus Professor of Electrocardiology and his team, who is seated here, working from the same laboratory in Glasgow where I utilized my Commonwealth Fellowship, had suggested and was subsequently adopted worldwide that the same upper limit cutoffs of ST segmental elevation for diagnosis of acute myocardial infarction cannot be used for both male and female because of gender difference. McFarlane et al. 2001. On the basis of our new collaboration, we have discovered yet another big oversight, which is the fact that the same STJ cutoffs cannot be applied to all races, as normal Nigerians have higher STJ amplitudes than either the British or Chinese population. Katibi et al. 2010. And you would agree with me that we now live in a global economy such that sizable proportion of Nigerians now reside in different parts of the world, and they could develop symptoms suggestive of heart attack, and they have to be evaluated using ECG machines anywhere outside Nigeria. So we need to make our own program available so that they can use this appropriate program for our own Nigerian population, and not just use programs calibrated using British cutoffs for them and get wrong results and manage them wrongly. Possibly they can die in the process. PR and QT intervals. Normal limits of the PR interval range between 0.11 to 0.22 seconds in males and females respectively. The QT interval varies a great deal with heart rate with a correlation factor of -0.78. We observed that QT corrected using Orgis formula shows the highest or the least correlation of 0.15. We have reported the fact that QT interval is longer in patients with chronic heart failure, secondary to hypertension, than in the general population. And we've gone a step further to relate this prolonged QT interval to increased propensity to abnormal cardiac contractions, arrhythmias, and worse clinical outcomes. Katibi et al. 2008 and 2008. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I seek your permission to jump this boring statistical and mathematical cardiology. For those who are enjoying it, do not worry, as this is the subject of my Doctor of Medicine thesis from the University of Glasgow, a copy of which has been deposited at the University of London Library through the immediate past Vice Chancellor. In practical terms, what have I been able to achieve? That is the bottom line. One is the establishment of the first electronic database of normal ECG in any indigenous Black African population worldwide. Two is the free quick cardiovascular health screening for the underserved people of Ilorin West, Ilorin East, Ilorin South, and Asa local government areas of Kwara State. 3 is the receipt of items worth about 3 million naira donated by University of Glasgow towards the execution of this project. Worthy of note is the fact that Atria 6100 ECG machine, which was among the items donated, is the only one of its kind in Nigeria today. The man who facilitated the donation, if not the man who donated the items through his research grant, is seated on the high table here, Emeritus Professor Peter Martin. Based on the quality of the research work and the commitment displayed by the lecturer of today, University of Glasgow accepted the thesis based on this work for the award of the degree of Doctor of Medicine. It is worthy of extension mentioning that this is the only Doctor of Medicine possessed by any regular staff member of the College of Health Sciences today, University of London. The opportunity will not only exist for other academic staff members to be supervised locally for their MDs, but the award has also complied with the dictum of the National Universities Commission that every university lecturer must have a postgraduate doctoral degree qualification, irrespective of faculties. Towards the payment of the tuition fees for the Doctor of Medicine degree program, Kwara State government awarded a scholarship to the tune of 2 million naira. This was facilitated by the immediate past governor of Kwara State, Governor Bukola Saraki. Again, I enjoyed the award of Commonwealth Fellowship, which was utilized at the University of Glasgow and Glasgow Royal Infirmary, the biggest and the most advanced hospital in Scotland. Aside from the prestige of being a Commonwealth scholar, the award is worth well over 4 million naira. We are working on a new proposal to see how we can pioneer the establishment of the first central core ECG laboratory in Nigeria, and perhaps first of its kind in the West African sub-region. And that's one of the reasons why he struggled to be here physically, so that talks will move and advance in that direction. What about ECGs recorded over a longer duration of time? Mr. Chairman, sir, the regular ECG is recorded just over 3 to 5 seconds. You will agree with me that certain abnormalities of the heart, particularly arrhythmias, occur so infrequently that they are bound to be missed over the short time. With humility, the first publication from Nigeria of Volta ECG was done by our group in 2006, Katibi 2006. We reported that chest pain in patients with hypertension was the commonest indication after palpitation of unknown etiology. Premature ventricular contractions was the commonest type of arrhythmia, occurring in up to 60% of whippers. Forming the thrust of my thesis for the award of the Fellowship of the West African College of Physicians, we have documented varied prevalence of ECG left ventricular attack, ranging between 20 to 70% and left atrial enlargement between 20 to 50%, depending on the diagnostic criteria applied. Katibi et al. 2003 and 2005. Figure 8 above is an example of ECG recorded from an hypertensive patient. You can see this ECG is showing premature ventricular contractions in triplets. These are non-sustained ventricular tachycardia, and if this patient is not lucky, this will progress to sustained ventricular tachycardia, and this patient could then have sudden cardiac death. These are the sort of things that will go to bed and they don't wake up with volume on. People will now think somebody killed, somebody must have done a jail or shot to him or something. Stroke is about the commonest and most devastating complication of hypertension in our environment. Worldwide, over 16 million new cases of stroke occur annually, with hypertension detected on admission in up to 80% of them. We have reported that about 30% of those afflicted with stroke and who managed to get to the hospital will still die within the first month of hospital admission. Katibi et al. 2007. Hypertension is both a cause and consequence of chronic kidney disease. Besides, chronic kidney disease alters the threshold for the control of blood pressure. Patients with chronic kidney disease will ultimately require dialysis or kidney transplantation, costing about 100,000 naira monthly or 3 million naira, respectively. Again, the choice is yours, but the economic burden is called house. As listed earlier on, echocardiogram is one of the diagnostic armamentarium in the management of hypertension. We have also pioneered the establishment of the normal reference for echocardiographic left ventricular mass in Nigerians. A new normal reference for left ventricular mass per height of 54.7 to 123.5 grams per meter and 63.3 and 171.6 grams per meter in females and males respectively was therefore proposed, but larger multi-center study to validate this further is still required in Nigeria. Katibi et al. 2001. Beyond defining the new normal reference for echocardiogram, we have also established the difference in the left ventricular geometry or anatomical structure of the heart in patients afflicted with hypertension and related these to the functional dynamics and better state long-term clinical outcome between male and female. Katibi et al. 2008, 2009, and 2010. We also made modest contribution to the understanding of the peculiarities of other forms of heart failure in Nigerians, particularly peripartum cardiomyopathy and parotoxic heart failure. Katibi 2003, 2004, and 2010. We re-echoed earlier observation that peripartum cardiomyopathy is commoner in Nigeria than in most other parts of the world, and that the clinical outcome may not be as bad, particularly following full restoration of left ventricular function. Mr. Chairman, sir, what are my additional contributions to scholarship? I've made significant and landmark contributions to scholarship, culminating in my appointment as a professor of medicine, basis of which is today's inaugural lecture. I've co-trained and co-supervised 11 cardiologists, 7 of whom have completed the training, working in different parts of Nigeria today, and with some of them in this hall today. Dr. Skolo P.M., Adamu U.G., Busari A.Ho, Fasai A, Alpha J, IK, IF, Umarele A, Badamosi A, Oloko AAY, Bello HS, and Ojo F. These are all our products. Furthermore, some states in Nigeria do not have a single cardiologist. For you to appreciate what I'm talking about. Furthermore, I've been a peer reviewer, professional assessor to several local, national, and international journals. I will spare you with having to read the names. They are all listed in the booklet. Contribution to the community. It is one thing to be endowed. It is yet another to have the opportunity to serve, wherein the real talent in the individual could manifest. With all sense of humility and gratitude to God, have been privileged to serve at ward, local government, district, state, national, and international levels, without necessarily occupying a political office. I've been physician to the president of this great country, governors, godfather of governors, ministers, speakers, and members of the national and state House of Assembly, commissioners, high-ranking judicial officers, royal fathers, spiritual leaders, vice chancellors, professors, permanent secretaries, and the general public. Which of his favors can we deny? In all, I find the experience quite revealing, rewarding, and fulfilling. While I may not have made money serving the top echelon of the society, I certainly gained robust insight into the thought process of this class of people. I served as the visiting consultant physician to Kwara State Government House in 1999, an appointment which was the opportunity cost for the academic attainment we are celebrating today. I also served as a member of Kwara State Advisory Council for Prerogative of Medicine in 2002. At the national level, I was a member of the Ministerial Technical Committee on the coverage of the vulnerable group in the National Health Insurance Scheme in 1999. I also served as a member of the Ministerial Implementation Committee on NHIS in 2001. Two members of that committee are today's state governors in Edo and Ondo states. I'm not campaigning for gubernatorial seat. I became the secretary of the National Committee of Medical Healers under the auspices of the Federal Ministry of Health and chairmanship of Professor Emeritus Umaru Shehu in 2004. Through this feat, I've had the uncommon privilege of working closely and directly with 3 professors emeritus, 2 of whom actually supervised my thesis. Professor Emeritus Peter Makfari, Professor Emeritus Matthew Akinyemi Around. Earlier, I served as the National Assistant Secretary and National Treasurer of the Nigerian Medical Association in 1998 to 2000 and 2000 to 2002 respectively. I was on the management board of the National High Center at Kaduna between 2000 and 2004, during which I stepped aside to take up honorary clinical research appointment at the University of Glasgow, UK. Stay focused, that is the message. I've been on the board of my alma mater, Adeola High School in Korea since 1996 till date. At the local level, I've served 2 terms as the president of the Call Mates, all comrades, while also quietly awarding scholarships to orphans and indigents in my local ward. I served as the immediate past chairman of the University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital Research and Ethics Committee, which is adjudged to be one of the best, if not the best in the country today, by a recent visitation panel. These organizations are available on the World Wide Web. I've regularly participated in health education, radio, and television programs for close to 3 decades now, ever since I was a publicity secretary of Ahmadu Bello University Medical Students Association. I've also served as the HOD in Medicine, University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital, and acting HOD in Medicine of the University of Ilorin. The future challenge now is the establishment of a central core ECG laboratory in Ilorin, wherein the experience in Glasgow could be replicated completely. I'm Professor Emeritus Peter Makfari. Earlier today, paid a courtesy call on the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ilorin, and we're already working on that. I'm sure with time, it will come to fruition. Recommendations. 1. At the governmental level. 1. There is the need to strengthen the Department for Non-Communicable Diseases in the Federal Ministry of Health, or outright setting up of a new agency for the control of non-communicable disease, similar in status to the Primary Healthcare Development Agency. I've told you how explosive cardiovascular diseases could be. Policy regulation of alcohol consumption and cigarette smoking through heavy taxation, limited ban and restricted use in public places. Policy regulation of quantity of salt in common staple food items like bread, rice, etc. Regulated importation or outright ban of highly salted food items such as bacon, baked beans, corned beef. Must we eat corned beef? Our local beans is good enough. Must it be baked beans? Universal coverage of all Nigerians by National Health Insurance Scheme as a way of guaranteeing access to basic cost-effective healthcare service is also very important. Improved spread, quality, and staffing of primary healthcare facilities nationwide. 7. Empowerment of religious bodies, congregations, cooperative societies, road transport workers, barbers, and other similar organizations and groups to screen for high blood pressure through basic training and provision of automated sphygmomanometer. Government should empower them. Catholic Church, I believe, is already doing something like that. When people go to church, they can also visit the clinic and get checked for their blood pressure. The mosque, why can't we also have automated small machines in the mosque? People come there 5 times every day. Look at the millions coming to the central mosque in Ilorin every Friday prayer. If we have 2 or 3 rooms there and we put these automated machines, they can have their blood pressure checked as they come to pray because they gravitate towards that place. They like the place. People go to bar on a regular basis. Empower barbers, train them, simple training, simple equipment, they can check. Similarly, even in the lawn tennis court, my colleagues in the lawn tennis court, I can see some of them there. Empower 1 person or 2 there as they come to play lawn tennis. Come to stadium and you see the number of people doing exercise there on Saturdays. As they come, check their blood pressure. You discover new ones. The ones that are already on drugs, you check if they are controlled. And if they are not, you know what to do. Then you reduce the mortality from hypertension, which is very large. Provision of more recreational and sporting facilities in the community and working environment. In order to encourage increased physical activity, we must commend Kwara State government for what they have done in Kwara State Stadium. go there on a Saturday, we are up to 5,000 using that facility every Saturday. We must commend Kwara government for the pedestrian walkway on Amodu Way. Let them do same on Adeola, same other, Tanker Road here, so that people can walk instead of, fearing that a car or a vehicle will eat them on the road. As the more they walk, the better for their health, the less prone they have to cardiovascular disease. Similarly, Okekura can have a recreational facility. Adeola basement baseball stadium can be renovated to become a recreational facility. People from Adeola can go there and do exercise if all of us cannot go to the stadium because it is far from our house. Adeola should have a recreational facility. Pakata should have a recreational facility. This way you encourage people to move, to get involved in physical activity, and then they are less prone to cardiovascular disease. They can live longer, you save money as a government, instead of having to spend money treating these complications. This is the message we're trying to pass across. Improved budgetary allocation to health and prudent management of available resources. Improved funding for cardiovascular research in particular, and health research as a whole, as we pass through epidemiologic transitions. At the individual level, we need to look at our diet. We must all learn to imbibe healthy eating habits. We must get very active. We must stop smoking if you are already smoking. If you're not smoking, don't start. Remember, if you're not smoking, but the person living with you or standing next to you is smoking, that is passive smoking. The danger in passive smoking is as bad as the danger in active smoking when you smoke directly. Adequate treatment of hypertension and other associated illnesses. Make sure if you're hypertensive, take your medicine regularly, visit your clinic regularly. Treatment is usually for life, not the way Bill Clinton did before he was admitted for heart attack. It's for life. Appropriate adaptation to stress of daily life. Life without stress is life without accomplishment. Since we cannot run away from stress, we must learn to manage stress appropriately. Regular annual medical checkup is very important. Once you are above the age of 40, whether or not you feel anyhow, you have headache or you don't have headache, you must go see your doctor on an annual basis and have your comprehensive medical checkup. It is better to discover things very early and take measures to arrest them. Acknowledgments. First and foremost, my gratitude goes to the Almighty God, who is most deserving of all gratitude. Not only for seeing me through this life from my dangerous beginning, but also for seeing me through the challenges in getting to the pinnacle of my career. As the first professor of medicine from Ilorin Emirates, and the first professor in cardiology from Kwara State. And indeed one of the youngest professors ever produced in the history of the University of Nigeria. The attainment of this feat has really humbled me, such that I've had to rededicate myself to the service of God and mankind. No word can aptly describe my indebtedness to my late mother, who labored without rewards through pregnancy and preparing, but generated a critical mass of goodwill while alive to see me through childhood and adolescence. People could have rejected me when she died if she was a bad woman. They looked after me very well, I'm sure of that. How I wish he's also seated in this auditorium today to see the fruits of our labor. Special appreciation also goes to my father for never imposing anything on me in life and for his abundant prayers. He's seated behind Hajia Kawu wearing green in the first row there, directly behind her. If wishes were horses, my father prefers that I become a distinguished malam or sheikh. particularly since my brother had gone to the university and I was going to become a pharmacist. In his own thinking, I should go to Arabic school and aspire to become an imam. He has since taken consolation in the fact that while I touch people's lives in different parts of Nigeria, he takes the glory, as the beneficiaries usually trace me back to him to express their appreciation. My elder brother has also been of immense support from inception to date, not in the least for wise counsel and making sure I lacked nothing, reasonably expedient, all through my education. He's also seated in this hall, first row here, next to Mrs. Orele, you will know. So he's sitting next to Mrs. Orele. My special thanks go to all my past and present teachers as I'm still being mentored. Till date, that's probably why Peter Macaulay is here, all the way from Glasgow. A special mention must be made of the following amongst them. My Ghanaian chemistry teacher in the secondary school, late Mr. Yao Fobi, who made sure I earned an A1 in the subject. My secondary school principal, Chief M.B. Babadola, who was a very strict disciplinarian and who believed so much in me. Professor Emeritus Matthew Akinyemi Agrawi, for always being there during my training and for impacting in me the culture of hard work very early in my career. Professor Emeritus Peter McFarlane, for opening my eyes to the world of modern-day electrocardiology and for demonstrating to me good work etiquette. I thank all members of staff of the Department of Medicine, particularly Professor A.B.O. of Motoshaw, who is sitting next to me here, and Dr. Philip Mamankolo, who held the fort during my frequent traveling around the world. I also acknowledge Professor B.J. Bujuyi for being the perfect gentleman that he is, and Professor E.O. Okoro for making me the only resident doctor to enjoy the privilege of having the duplicate key to his office in my early days in my life. I thank my in-laws, not only for being a good guardian while I was in the university, but for also considering me worthy of being their son-in-law. I thank the management and government council of the University of Ibadan for finding me worthy of appointment as a professor of medicine, a position that qualifies me for today's inaugural lecture. Specifically, I would like to thank Professor Ishaq Olariwaju Oloyede, who is ably represented here by Dr. Mrs. Oloyede, his better half, and who would have been here but for the delayed Harif flight from Abuja to Ilorin. He spoke with me just a few minutes before the lecture. He's as good as he's here. For being the only one who remembered to acknowledge me that I should minimize celebrating, but brace up for other levels of promotion, which will soon come, he prophesied, and it has come to pass. When my 2003 promotion to senior lectureship was announced in 2005. Professor Oswahe Quadri, Agas Oladosu, Shehu Jimam, and B.J. Bojuwe's reassuring words over the years have been very, very soothing. When the path appears very bleak and they see you, there's a way they talk to you and it gives you hope. Don't worry, it'll be okay, just carry on. Thank God it has been okay now. My special thank goes to Professor Ibraheem, OFR, who God used to secure my first appointment into the University of Ilorin. At a time that we had never met, even though we were from the same town. And in conjunction with Professor Fakeye, I want to believe he's in the room here, where the daughter is getting married over the weekend. I won't be surprised if he's not here. Who believed so much in me as well. I'm sure both of you will be delighted today that you stretched a little bit to accommodate me in the department. Similarly, I thank the entire management and staff of the University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital, symbolized by the Chief Medical Director, who is out of the country as we deliver this lecture, but ably represented by the Director of Clinical Services and Training, University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital. I thank members of my nuclear family, particularly my darling wife, Dr. Oludolako Sherifat Katibi, pediatrician and dermatologist, for fitting perfectly into my areas of deficiency like a jigsaw. and for accepting me just the way I am after several failed attempts to change me. My children have also been very wonderful. I thank everyone in the auditorium for finding time to be part of today's epoch-making occasion, particularly those who have traveled in from Europe and America. In conclusion, therefore, Mr. Chairman, sir, I began this lecture with a quotation, "Well begun is half done." And I would like to conclude by saying that I'm only half done with my mission in life, following my professorial appointment. I'm still not all I should be. I'm not yet where I should be. I've not yet learned all I should learn. I've not yet achieved all I should achieve. I therefore aspire to the next level. Thank you all for listening. Thank you very much.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me that Professor Katibi indeed is a professor of superlative qualities and achievements. This is displayed and evidenced by not only the content but the presentation of the inaugural lecture. It has been very, very impressive, and you agree with me that we need to thank him and all the medical doctors here or all over the world who are taking their burden to care for our ailments. He said the choice is ours, but the burden is theirs. The burden is defined as a heavy load we are carrying on our behalf. They spend their resources, their time and energy to make sure that we are treated, giving us medical treatment for heart, or liver, blood pressure, and so on. So I want to thank you very much for the efforts in this respect. I've been in this university since 1976, and I've attended many inaugural lectures. And I want to confess to you that this is the first one in which I can see the whole being full like this. This is because of the caliber of our inaugural lecture today. He has drawn so many people, he has actually interacted with a range of people from the highest level to the lower level. And that's why you can see here, you have the top echelon of the society here because of the caliber of the lecturer. And that's why I have a long list of people to recognize here. But myself and the registrar have had to go through to play that so I don't waste of time. So permit me if I don't mention your name. So I will start first of all to recognize the presence of Professor Emeritus Adeola, the former VC of University of Learning. Welcome, sir, to this inaugural lecture. I'm sure you're very proud that one of your trainees, those who mentor, are now presenting is now mentoring today. I also want to recognize Professor Emeritus Peter McFarlane from the University of Glasgow, UK. Welcome to this lecture. Please want to join you to send our gratitude to the Vice Chancellor of the University for allowing you to come to Nigeria. I understand that this is your first time of coming to Nigeria. It's very impressive today. I want to commend you for this. I also want you to pass our gratitude and commendation to the Vice Chancellor for providing research equipment and items for us in this university that enable Professor Katibi and others to be trained in their academic endeavors. We thank you very much for this. We want you to come back again next time we invite you to come to Nigeria. And also, as I said in the morning, we want to ask more that we have research collaboration, more research collaboration with the university I hope you're going to do that for us. And next, I want to recognize the presence of Alhaji Mahmood Atiku, Balogun Agba, Balogun Fulani of Ilorin. Welcome, sir, to this occasion. Honorable Justice Seidu Kawu, retired, Madawaki of Ilorin. Are you sorry for this? Welcome, sir, for this lecture. Honorable Justice Mustafa Kambi, retired, who is the former ICPC chairman. Welcome, sir, to this lecture. Alhaji Ahmed, Imam Imani of Ilorin. Are you sorry for this, sir? Welcome to this inaugural lecture. Honorable Justice Alhaja Raliatu Elelu, former Chief Justice of Kwara State. Welcome to this event. Honorable Justice Arun Dankadi, Sharia Court of Appeal. Welcome, sir. Architect Alhaja Alimatu Tayo Alao, former Minister of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Welcome to this occasion. Dr. Amuda Aluko, Tafida of Ilorin. Welcome, sir, to this occasion. Honorable Justice Imam Fulani, former Grand Kadi of Kwara State. Welcome, sir. Honorable Dr. Lawyer Abubakar Adebayo Ishola, Chairman Ilorin South Local Government Area. Welcome, sir, to this University of Ilorin. Alhaji Oniye, the first Makama of Ilorin. Welcome, sir. I also want to recognize the presence of Lawyer Husseini Toyikawu, DCR Federal Court of Appeal. Welcome, sir, to this occasion. Then Honorable Justice Eso Mohammed, Grand Kadi Court of Appeal. You are also welcome to this lecture. Dr. B.S. Alabi, CMAC, UITH, representing the Honorable Minister of Health here. You are welcome to this occasion. Alhaji Amuda Alabi, AMSEC, Ministry of Works. You are also welcome to this occasion, sir. I also try to recognize the presence of Professor S.A. Abdul Karim, the Vice Chancellor at Hima University. Welcome, sir, to this occasion. Alhaji Abdullahi Atonda, former President at DPU. Welcome to this occasion. Alhaji Abdul Malik Abamale, retired civil servant and community leader. You are welcome, sir. Alhaja Halima Yusuf, former Commissioner for Education. Welcome to the occasion. And Alhaji Olayiwola Kamal, former Commissioner for Education. You're welcome, sir. Alhaja Dr. Mrs. R. Oloyede, wife of the immediate past BC, University of Ilorin. You're welcome. Then Alhaji Abisalam Ayila, Chairman, Kwara State Committee on Quranic Competition. You're welcome, sir, to this occasion. Dr. Mrs. Bukola Gafara, sister to Dr. Mrs. Katibi. You're welcome, to this occasion. And Dr. Abu Wahab Ajape, brother to the wife of the lecturer. You're welcome, sir. Please permit me to recognize one person who I don't see here, but I can see him, Professor B.J. Bojuwe, who is a mentor of our lecturer. Those who write this case, we waited his name. Please find that space. You are welcome to this occasion, sir. I want to go now to the immediate family members, starting with the father of the lecturer for today. The lecturer told us that Katibi means a scholar or a teacher. He has shown that he's a scholar and his father too is a scholar. by being here. Alhaji Katibi, the father of the lecturer, you're welcome, sir, to this event. Dr. Katibi, who is the brother to the lecturer, is from IDB University Lapai. I'm standing up for the sir. You're welcome. And then pharmacist Katibi, who is also a brother to the lecturer. You're welcome to the invitation, sir. In my introduction, I said that the lecturer is blessed with children, with a wife and children. I want to go to the family now, starting with the children. Ibraheem Katibi Jr., who is the son. Can you stand up? Welcome. Congratulations for this lecture. Then Said Katibi, also another son. And Bashir Katibi, also son. So Prof is also swallowed with that. Having 3 sons. Yes. But there's a saying that beside every successful man, there is a woman. But in this case, this woman is also a scholar herself, a pediatrician and a dermatologist, supporting a professor of medicine. You can see the family is a family of scholars. That also in agreement with the name Katibi. So I want to recognize the mother, the wife, that is Dr. Mrs. Ola Oludolapo Jennifer Katibi. Please, the daughter of the lecturer is not here, but I need to recognize her. That is Karusa Katibi. It's not in this way, but it's called because it's spirit. Where is she? Okay, you're supposed to sit in front. Please permit me to recognize too, in this hall, the presence of our university scholars who are here to see a university professor of medicine. Many of them will be the future professors and are future leaders too. So you are welcome to this occasion. So once again, on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, Professor Adeola Ambani, I want to thank you for coming, spending your time and energy to come to attend this occasion and grace it to the honor of our guest lecturer. You are welcome once again.
For Uniloring anthem, and as soon as we have the anthem, the Vice Chancellor's recession will lead the hall as well as the university scholars. Thereafter, we will all follow. Thank you once again. Thank you. Please let's remain standing.
Adeola,